For some, we use it every day on the job. For others, we may only use it when we are redecorating our family room. You could be an experienced handyman, a construction worker, or someone that's never hammered a nail, and chances are you've used a tape measure. For such a common tool, though, it is surprising how many shortcomings it truly has. Why don't we take a look at the most common issues that plague the use of this tool? First, we have several tab issues such as the tab slipping off, the tab rotating off, and finally, odd-shaped geometries. Next, we have the buckling issue. This is the distance that the tape measure can be extended to before failing, or what the industry refers to as standout. To solve these issues, we came up with several simple solutions. Our first prototype we'll call the reinforcer. To solve the buckling issues, we wrapped a common tape measure in packing tape and rubber supports in an attempt to increase the standout. We added an ergonomic grip as well on this model to see if our users liked the better grip. For our next prototype, we'll simply call it the snail. This design uses some gear ties attached to the tab. Gear ties, for those who are unfamiliar, are malleable to pretty much any shape or geometry, but still have rigidity. This was implemented in order to solve the tab issues of falling and rotating off and odd geometries. To put these first couple designs to the test, we wanted to put our prototypes in the hands of our target users. First, we have Nate. Nate is a postdoctorate associate for the university but likes do-it-yourself projects. He's currently building a tiny home for an upcoming adventure and also wants to continue the work on this project without the help of others. The tiny home has many odd edges that a typical tape measure struggles with and is also larger than Nate's arm width, making some dimensions a hassle without the assistance of a friend. As a final point, efficiency is extremely important to Nate. With Nate's tiny home, we can see a variety of different tasks that he is able to accomplish with the snail. Some of the edges on the tiny home are slanted, angled, or curved, and our tape measure is able to stay on all of them. This prototype also makes the dimensioning process very rapid and efficient, allowing Nate to take several quick measurements to check current dimensions of the home. We can also see that Nate is able to take a larger dimension and then simply bend the gear tie away when it is of no use to take a smaller dimension.
Well, it could grip really well when I was doing really long measurements. And then if I needed to do really accurate measurements, I could move it out of the way and use the traditional tape measure. Could also measure some diagonal surfaces that might not be very easy, cause a lot of frustration. So, works pretty good.
Next, we have Jerry from McGuckins.
How I hold a tape measure was not like, this doesn't feel good. And because if you add that, then you're going to have to make the whole thing bigger because you need more space to wind. You also have to have something that's malleable enough to wind without compromising structural integrity when it's straight. So I just wonder about really the practicality of that over what is already in existence.
Next, we have Josh. Josh is the head of the makerspace here in the Idea Forge and uses a tape measure consistently throughout the course of his day. He values efficiency, ease of use, and versatility.
I get the impression this might be more useful for rougher measurements. So if I'm trying to measure, just quickly go through a room and measure in the general the square footage, like say for a carpet estimate or something like that. I wouldn't use this to measure to the nearest 64th. I'm talking more like the nearest 8th.
Yeah.
But this sort of rubbery tips lend themselves well to this kind of measurement where I'm not even pulling that hard and it's not falling down. So it's, like I said, maybe more useful for quickly measuring the square footage of a room. The nice thing about this is I can measure at waist height. I'm not having to get down here and bend a whole bunch, so I can see maybe some ergonomic benefits. Well, if I could have the benefits of this tab, but also the ability to somehow engage a longer tab when it came time, that'd be great. Problem is, now when this weighs a lot more, has more of a tendency to kind of buckle. So if it could somehow be lightweight. Yeah, so the snail holds promise, but probably not for precision work, would be my critique. That's all.
After this first round of testing, we have confidence in moving forward on these issues with the current solutions in hand as a start. In the end, the goal is to create a precise measuring tool that can adhere to any and all surfaces, has a high level of versatility, and will increase the efficiency of any task or project.